Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We've got a 2019 Prado GX in front of us. We're just going to run you through what we're doing in the vehicle, the upgrades, the rig build, and the products we're using and why, slowly, bit by bit. May have already mentioned the things we did soon as we took delivery of this vehicle was remove the spare wheel cover. Obviously it's quite bulky, etc. Got that out the way in case we ever need to use the spare wheel, because it's more likely when you actually use the vehicles for what they're designed for. We applied some grease to the seal on the airbox, as you do with all four-wheel drives. So that's all in other videos anyway, and we did a video just briefly explaining the battery tray, the standard setup, how it is and what it's suitable for. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and have a look at that one. I'm not sure what it's called, but if I was a bit more YouTube expert, I'll be able to say, click that link down there. But look, just subscribe and look through our channel, search for the channel, new Prado 2019 battery tray or something like that. So little bit of information in this one about what battery we're going to use. So let's get in a bit closer and have a look at it, and I'll explain that. So traditionally in the Prados, it's been a bit of an issue fitting a battery in, and I haven't actually measured this one, but I think they're the same size, but actually it looks smaller because of how well it fits. Now, if you've seen the other video showing that, basically underneath the tray what it looks like and the strength of it, so don't judge this battery or this battery setup if you haven't seen the other video explaining how sturdy it is underneath, and there's been upgrades over the years. So this battery, this is a Century Dual Force, right? This is an AGM battery. It's traditionally AGMs, they don't do too well with the heat, so you can't keep them under the bonnet. Now, one of the exceptions to that are the Optimas, which that I like. Some people don't like them and they say they've changed this and that. I think it all depends how you treat your battery. I've got Optimas in another Prado here, and they're over 4 years old, and it cranks like crazy, like a new battery. And it's still, the other accessory battery still cycles fine as well. The fridge has been in there running non-stop for as long as the batteries have been in there. The batteries do get plugged on charge regularly, so when the vehicle's not being driven, it's on 240 volt, and the charger charges the battery, and 240 volt runs the fridge. Obviously it's more efficient, and best way to keep a battery is full. Okay, just think of it that way, just keep it full. Now these things, these AGMs, you can use them under the engine bay. They do withstand the heat. They've only been on the market about 12 months, but they're getting some really good feedback. What I like about them is, besides they're yellow and they even look a bit like an Optima, no, it's all good. They're actually not too heavy. So this is let's just have a look at the capacity, see if it says it on the battery before I say anything, but right, 90 amp hour, which is pretty good. You can get 105s and 120s. Now the problem with a lot of brands of batteries, they're not genuine about how they rate their batteries, okay? So some brands will call it 105 and it's not really, and 120 it's not really. It's the old rate, it's the Yamaha Sea-Doo race, or the Holden Ford race, or maybe the Toyota Nissan thing, right? Some companies like Yamaha, jet skis for example, they don't quote horsepower. Sea-Doo, 255 or 3, whatever the numbers are, 3, whatever it is, 300. And Yamaha, they don't quote numbers, mate. They just make them quality, and they last longer, and they blow away the Sea-Doos. But anyway, that's another thing, and some people aren't going to like that because they've got a Sea-Doo. Hey, Sea-Doos are okay, it's just Yamahas are better. Back on topic, batteries. So Century rate them genuinely, so it's a genuine 90 amp hour. So it's not as small as, the Optimas. I like the small ones because they're lighter. So this is a lot of battery information you get here. And I'm certainly not saying I don't like the Optimas. I'm going to say that again. I still like the Optimas, but this is a comparison, right? So the Optima that I'd like to keep the weight down, it's still 24 kilos and it's 55 amp hours, right? Now it's a lot more usable than like an acid battery, and recharges more quickly, and most people have got solar or they're going to drive. I can tell you that 55 amp hour, I run the fridge, I can park the vehicle at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The next morning, the battery's still well above 12 volts, probably around 12.4. Just depends what climate you're in and whether you're running it as a fridge or a freezer and what unit. I have parked the vehicle at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, overnight, all day not running, overnight the next night, and the battery's only down to 12 volts, which isn't too bad considering it's been running 2 nights and a day, if you know what I mean, without running. But this battery is a 90 amp hour, so it's got quite a bit more capacity. It's still an AGM, and wait for this, the weight of it, it's only 23.5 kilos. So look, you get what you pay for, but I'm just really happy with this because of the size of it, being an AGM, being dry, you know, absorbed glass mat. It's not acid that's going to leak everywhere. It fits in really well in this 2019 Prado. There's a little bit, look, it's not bolted down yet. We're going to get to that, that's coming. But we've got a good clearance to the side of the vehicle there. Probably, you know, I can fit my fingers in there quite easily. I'm thinking there's about a 15mm gap there. And if you look down this side, I should have got the light handy, but I didn't. I can tell you, I don't know if you can see that intercooler hose. You got about probably 10 or 15mm clearance there to that intercooler hose, so good clearance all the way around. So it fits in nicely. Let's go and have a look at the options for the battery hold down brackets and see what we can come up with. Alright, so to clamp the battery down, you've got some options, right? So you can, if you like, you can still go and buy a heavy duty tray and add that extra weight to the vehicle. And in my opinion, it's not required. You can use genuine brackets and things, or you can get some aftermarket ones, which may be better. It all depends on the profile of the top of your battery and what these brackets are like. So I'm going to give you some part numbers for the genuine bits and some more information. I think we mentioned it the other day. The tray you'd buy from Toyota is just a bit of plastic. It's not giving it any support whatsoever. It's just there to catch a bit of acid and hope it doesn't spill over and go onto the body of the vehicle, because it'll take the paint off, right? If you want to keep it nice and neat, and this is what I've done, I've gone and purchased, because they're cheap anyway, this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I'm going to try it, you know, for the sake of, I can't remember what it was, 10 or 15 bucks for that bracket. There's the part number, right, the battery clamp. It's just the one off the passenger side, same battery clamp each side, then it just looks nice and neat. These are the rods, as you can see. What do you call those? What's the description? Bolt battery clamp, right? One of them, they're different, okay, so the different prices. Pretty cheap, this one. There's the part number there. All right, you can even see the date, mate, fresh as anything. Same as this one. One's longer and one's shorter, you can see the difference. There's the part number for the other one, if you want to confirm that. And this is the nuts. Obviously the nuts are separate as well, of course, like everything. 2 nuts, they're on the rods now. Okay, so we're going to put that clamp over the battery, see how that looks. We're not fully decided about everything we're doing. I love the look of these these Century dual force batteries, and I'm really keen to give it a try. That's why I've grabbed one. But you know, we've got a couple of vehicles and a couple of options, so I'm not 100% sure what we're going to end up with, but I'm pretty sure the dual force is going to stay there, and we'll keep running the Optimas on the other Prado, because I really like the Optimas as well. Alright, so we've got the genuine hold down clamp, right? So the long rod goes at the front, the short one at the back, the clamp's on there, right? So you don't want to over tighten it and crush the battery too much, but on the same note, you don't want to have it loosen that battery, move it around. So get it nice and even, you wobble that back and forth so you know you got it nice and straight, because there's no point tightening it over there and it's going to just vibrate back and be loose, right? So, and then you just nip it down slowly till I'm giving that a fair bit of force, rocking the whole car and the battery, till it doesn't move. Now, what we haven't done yet, because I'm just showing you how the battery fits, and I'm really impressed with it. The size of these batteries, the size, the weight, and what they're going to do, the feedback they've had so far, and we're going to give this one a good crack. And I'm basically, I suppose I'd say give one a try, because if we've got a few people trying them out, then we're going to get a better idea if they're any good or not. But there's been quite a bit of development. These have been on the cards for years. They've been looking for something to compete with the Optima sort of thing, so I think it's going to be a good thing. So it fits really well. I can get my fingers in between the hose at that side. A little bit, you know, you could go the smaller, the smaller Optima as well. Either way, look, I think both good options. All depends on your particular setup. So 90 amp hours, you can get aftermarket brackets that have got wider. I prefer the metal brackets. You can get plastic ones, but I prefer the metal. And there's one that's got a bit of an angle here, and it's about, I think it's about that wide. Not a bad idea either. Can't remember what brand it is. I'll try and have it for you on the next video, because we're going to sort of add to this a little bit. I'm going to take this out now just to show you, and we're going to I'll tell you what I'm going to use, right? It's a bit of carpet tile. You know what a carpet tile is? You know those, like some floors, they're like tiles, but they're carpet tiles, right? So I'm going to cut up a carpet tile to suit this size battery to sit there, just to stop this battery rubbing around on the paintwork and just to give it a bit of a buffer. You know, instead of being rock solid against each other, just a bit of a soft buffer in between. That's what I choose to use. I don't know, I suppose I just like the look of it too. So I'm going to cut it to the size of the base of the battery. Happy days. Like I said, that aircon pipe down there that they've relocated on the later 150 Prados, it's got a good, I don't know, I'll put fits my finger in between it, so I'd say 8 to 10 mil clearance. So that's an awesome design on Toyota's side. Guys, I hope that helps. If you like, mate, try one of these Century Dual Force. Awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll have more info for you on the next videos.